You don't know the power.
The math is unfootable.
Fusion reaction.
Oh, hell yeah.
Get to the chopper!
Press go up.
Gigantic fusion reactor that just works.
Multiple income streams and real yield.
Ooh, yeah!
Cheats can no longer dump on your heads. The revolutionary decentralized finance protocol. Fusion reaction in T-minus 3, 2, 1.
Fusion! You don't know the power.
The math is unfootable.
Fusion reaction.
Oh, hell yeah.
The mothership.
And what's it gonna do?
Everybody excited?
Oh, hell yeah.
Give my creation! Fusion.
Get ready to rumble.
Fusion.
Gotta do a huge shout out to Cool Sheet. That song just hits.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the official EMP live stream. We come to you every Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. My name is AJ. I am the team lead here, and I'm joined by my co-host with the most and fellow team member. Welcome back, LA. How are you?
Hey guys, hello, I'm good.
Awesome. We missed you last week. We had special guest Grover filling in, but yeah, glad to have you back. And boy, oh boy, do we have a show today. Holy cow, EMP and the entire EMP Fusion ecosystem is absolutely on fire. So before we jump into all that today, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps us get the word out, especially now we've had a ton of new eyeballs and returning members that may have checked out for a while and now they're back, and so we really want to get more engagement. So like, comment, and subscribe. So all right, we have a lot to go over today. Holy cow, what a week it has been. As we finished up our last AMA, within a few hours our legacy migration went live. So again, the when detonator reactor generator NFTs nodes when credit is no longer a thing, and it really has been amazing because it's brought back a lot of users to the ecosystem that we haven't seen in a while, and making good on a promise that we have always said. Again, we do what we say and we say what we do, and I think people were really happy with that. And so it spurred a lot more momentum on EMP and sacrifice points. Lots of microgrids getting scooped up. Oh, it sounds like I might be cutting out. LA, can you hear me all right?
Yep, you're good.
All right, awesome. Maybe on your end there, Journey. But so yeah, that was the high level overview. We're going to some details today, and I know we have a lot of questions as well. So please make sure that you ask those. We're gonna go over Fusion all over again, as I know some of you again that may be here aren't even really that familiar with Fusion. So we'll do that. And yeah, but I guess LA, why don't we start? We did an announcement yesterday do you want to just go over that real quick and read
Yes.
what we did and all the bullish new metrics and news? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, in case you missed it, PEG is at 0.6886. Holy crap. I was away for a few days. I left in the 0.3s. I came back in the 0.6s. I nearly had a heart attack. But
Let's go.
yeah,
Yeah.
congratulations to everyone. And we are witnessing what we always knew was possible, but very few others thought was possible. And that is an incredible comeback in real time. And we're not quite celebrating yet, even though we celebrate every step of the way. We definitely all deserve a big round of applause because we've done this together.
Totally.
We're working together to do this. EMP is officially on the move, and Fusion is leading the way with momentum that we have not seen in years. So we're getting closer and closer to PEG every day. We've had over 20,000 per day in trading volume. We're approaching a 40 million market cap, and the 50 million was all-time high. We have a seamless legacy migration going on, successfully crediting participants from detonator, reactor, generator, nodes, and NFTs. And most importantly, we have, like AJ just said, a surge of returning community members rejoining the mission and really diving into what Fusion is for the first time. So this is really historic progress, and literally no other algorithmic token in DeFi history has shown this kind of sustained recovery. The fact that we're clawing our way back to PEG after witnessing one of the harshest bear markets is just nothing short of legendary. So we do want everyone to keep in mind that PEG recovery is a progress. It's not going to go up in a straight line. We've had a wild few days, but it will be up and down on the way up, and that's to be expected. Not everyone who's buying right now is putting it into Fusion, but the more that we work as a community to educate people about Fusion, the more that they'll see that that's the right choice for their EMP. But we're proving block by block that EMP is built different, and that we have redemption story in the works. With each microgrid staked, Fusion and EMP become stronger and more deflationary. So with this bull run heating up, more eyes are coming, and everyone's going to be telling the story of how EMP got back to PEG and is better than ever.
I love it, LA. So yeah, that was a great overview of the last few days. Like you said, you were off for a week, and we literally doubled our PEG ratio. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up really quick, just to show some metrics, and then we can get into actually Fusion. And we tried to share some of our resources. A lot of people have been watching our videos that LA again produced about a year, 2 years ago now, and that's really helping people understand what Fusion is. But I'll kind of go over that as well. But let me open my screen here. Bear with me. All right, so let's start with the EMP chart. Again, we always say that a good-looking chart is the best form of advertising. And boy, oh boy, what a chart it is. So, as you can see, I drew some more lines on here, and I don't by any means consider myself a technical analysis expert, but it's definitely worth highlighting. So, this is an ETH value again. We've also had ETH on a parabolic rise as well, which has really helped the ecosystem. And again, because we keep full exposure to Ethereum through our peg system, you're getting all the upside potential on that as well. So as you can see, I drew this light blue line. Again, this was our original trend line from day one, and now we've even broken out of that, and we broke over our all-time high in terms of Ethereum ratio. So things are looking good. Obviously, a chart like this, there needs to be a little bit of cool down, maybe some sideways motion for a bit, but we're almost there. I mean, at today's value, EMP at peg is just a little under $1. So we're again about that 0.65, 0.7 range to peg, which is double than what we were just a few days ago. So this is really promising. And again, I mean, it is mathematically inevitable that we do recover peg because of the mechanisms that we have in place. So to remind everybody, by buying EMP and sacrificing it, we're taking that EMP off the market. And whether it's new users, old users, or even the Treasury itself, that happens every single day. And eventually there is no more EMP to be sold. And so that again mathematically guarantees that even if there is no more new users and it's just the Treasury buying and burning EMP, that we will recover peg and stay there. Now, one thing I do want to bring up, which we can get into a little bit later, is the peg peg maintenance bot. So we will be once we do get to peg, we will be implementing what we call our peg sustainability bot or peg maintenance bot. And what this will do is it allows the basically market making around the perfect 4,000 to 1 ratio of EMP. And so why that's important is because again, those that do want to maybe swing trade or they're not interested for the long run, obviously we're gonna have to deal with those sellers when we're at peg. But because of the bot, we're able to provide exit liquidity without it being detrimental to the protocol. So I don't want people to get a little unrealistic on that. I think that we will definitely still see dips, but over the long run, because of that bot, it's a lot healthier for the ecosystem for people that do just want to exit. And remember, if you exit, you're gone. I mean, you can't participate in Fusion at all unless you buy EMP at a higher price or you're buying sacrifice points off the market from other people. So it is something that we'll work through when it happens. But overall, the system is working flawlessly. And the PegBot is also a revenue stream for us because when new people do buy into EMP with the bull run coming at the end of the year, anybody buying, we don't want them to buy over peg, so we keep that ratio, and any profits from the peg bot go to feed Fusion directly. So it also is a revenue stream for the protocol. But everything is looking really good. Volume's been great. Liquidity has been slowly rising, and we've had more buying than selling on most days for the last 2 weeks. So again, really really powerful in terms of the goals that we're trying to accomplish. So all right,
Love
awesome.
it.
LA, yeah, go ahead. Anything you want to add to that, and then we can go into Fusion specifically.
It's just incredible to see. And the only thing I didn't mention earlier was it's also really nice to see us working together to accomplish our weekly goals on Fusion Watch. It's been 2 strong weeks in a row, and 2 pretty damn strong weeks before that, but just very shy of our goal. But we're on track again this week to reach it. And it's incredible to see us working so well as a community and hitting those goals together and being able to give out the full prizes.
Yeah, absolutely. Great point, LA. And again, it's a good transition into Fusion Watch. I know a lot of you have been really loving Fusion Watch. Shout out to Grover and Sean. This is a community-made project. This website, so they track all the info from the on-chain data, and it allows us to focus on more development work that requires solidity, while these guys are killing it in terms of metrics and other things. So think of our own very own private label Dune Analytics. That's what you see here with Fusion Watch. And yeah, LA. I mean, we the last 2 weeks we've at least doubled or met our goal, and we're already over halfway there for this week. So momentum has been great there. And if we scroll down, again, almost 0.7 to peg, which is amazing. Again, peg would be an even number 1 here. And over here, if we look at the peg pulse and peg trend, some of these metrics have us at peg within days, which is just incredible. More positive momentum on peg for the last 10 days. We're a little red right now, but again, I was assuming that we would cool off a little bit, and I know a lot of you are scooping microgrids at very cheap, but still continue, to buy and burn or buy and stack the EMP as well. And then last but not least, eSHARE. eSHARE's been on a bit of a run. We had a dip down into, the fives. Remember, eSHARE is very, very volatile, and that is the point of eSHARE. But with people selling microgrids for so cheap, obviously that is short-term sell pressure on eSHARE. But now people are going to have to buy eSHARE to get mENERGY, and we're seeing this in action. And again, I don't have the exact numbers, but I think we did at least 2,000 eSHARE transacted through the marketplace on buying and selling over the last week, and 3% of that is burned forever. So volume on eSHARE is amazing, and we've been accumulating it this whole time with the volatility. So a lot of amazing metrics coming together. Everything is working as we planned, and we say it a lot. This flywheel is spinning up, and we're seeing that happen, in real time for sure. So awesome. All right, LA. What else should we go over on Fusion Watch while we're here?
Maybe the eShare competition.
Perfect. Yep. Let me pull that up. Oh, we're gonna hang on. Oh my goodness. Sorry, hang on one sec. All right, here we go. So we are updating this to be Thursday to Thursday so that we can highlight this on every AMA. But this is another really cool, again, community-led initiative where you can predict the price of eShare at the end of the week. And each ticket is only $2. You can buy one, you can buy 100. And then half of the prize pool is used to buy and burn eShare, and the other half is awarded to the winner. So it's only been 2 weeks. Nobody has hit the jackpot yet, and we're almost at $350. So this will continue to grow and be more and more attractive as we go, and it's a win-win for everybody that's involved because it also burns eShare. So it's really easy. Again, we didn't want to have any more development time, so it is a bit of a manual process, but you just copy and paste. If you click this address, it will automatically copy. You send your $2 of USDC on BSC to the address, and then once you have a transaction hash, you go to number 3. You will paste your transaction hash, and you will predict the price within 2 decimal places, and you're good to go. So you hit submit right there. It may take 2 or 3 minutes, so if it doesn't go through, just wait and then refresh. But again, this is just another really cool way of continuing to incentivize people to act in our ecosystem. And then one more thing too, LA. We are releasing a bonds leaderboard. So we're going to talk about bonds a lot towards the end here, but you can also check out bonds here and see the bonds leaderboard. We'll eventually probably have a competition around that as well. So some really, really cool metrics. Fusion Watch is your one-stop shop for everything. So and remember, you get your own. We have 3 more days for the community rewards, and you get more EMP as long as we hit our goals. So there's there's money all around. and we're giving back as much as we can as we continue to grow. You can see we're almost at $500,000 worth of EMP given away since Fusion launched. So, and that number goes up when as the price of EMP goes up, which is incredible. So, all right, LA, anything else about Fusion Watch or EMP specifically before we talk about Fusion?
No, I think that's it. Yeah.
All right, do you want to go over real quick the announcement part, and then I'll go ahead and show it on the website. So
For sure. So if you guys haven't explored Fusion, or sorry, if you're just rejoining, welcome back. But if you haven't yet explored EMP Fusion, now's the time. There's still absolutely amazing deals on microgrids. And the earlier you position yourself, the more power you'll have in the ecosystem moving forwards. And just to remember that we also do still have a bit of a peg bonus as long as we're not back at peg yet. So you can also purchase liquid EMP to deposit into Fusion for your microgrid as well. There's a great playlist that is our Fusion educational playlist. I'll post the link in the comments right now. Yeah, and then quick tip for maximizing your EMP position while scooping up those killer microgrid deals on the marketplace is an epic way to supercharge your position. Don't sleep on straight up EMP buying and sacrificing to help our flywheel turn even faster. We're building the future of DeFi right here, and it's not based on hype or hype cycles. It's based on utility, innovation, and real yield. This is a rarity in the crypto landscape that we've been preaching for years. We say what we do and we do what we say. Together, we're not just restoring peg, we're restoring belief in what's possible. So we're all going to keep pushing and building and making history together.
I love it. Let's go. Absolutely. So again, I know a lot of you are maybe need a refresher on sacrifice points and how Fusion works overall. So I'm just going to do that really quick. Like Ella said, she posted a link. It's a playlist series that really does a great job of explaining it all. And obviously, please refer to the white paper as well. Again, anytime you get involved with something, make sure you understand what it is you're getting involved in. So, all right, let me pull up Fusion. All right, so number one is if you were eligible for the migration, there will be a blue box that appears above this purple area that says initiate your migration. It is all encompassing, and meaning you don't see a breakdown for detonator, reactor, NFTs, nodes, etc. It's a all-in-one number. It is something that we are doing as a courtesy, not something that we had to do. And we've posted the formula that we use, but we're not able to just, go wallet by wallet and show a breakdown. It's not something we made up. It's actual on-chain data, and there has been a little bit of confusion on the formula itself. It's not a one-to-one ratio. So remember, if we credited everybody for the LP that they deposited into detonator or any DOS contracts, there isn't enough EMP in existence. So it's an average of the dollar value that your LP was as when you deposited minus what you may have already withdrawn as profit. And if you have withdrawn more than you put in, you are not eligible. So again, this is meant to make people that were compounding and trying to play by the rules a bit more whole, but it was never meant to be a one-to-one compensation. So I just want to put that out there because we're getting a lot of questions, and the majority of you have been very grateful, and we get it. But refunds in crypto are unheard of. So a partial credit is better than 99.999% of people get. So please be grateful instead of greedy. So and now again, it's been working well. Even if you want to leave Fusion, you're not locked in. You can sell your stack points at any time, and I'll go through that right now. But you'll see again this button at the top. You hit that button and you're good to go. That's all you have to do. If you have a microgrid, it will add to it, and if you don't have a microgrid, it will create one for you. So, all right. Before I get into the marketplace and batteries, was there anything you want me to add or elaborate on, LA, in terms of legacy?
No, but we'll see what questions pop up at the end.
Okay, perfect. All right, let me go to the marketplace. So if you did get credit and now you have a microgrid, you can do a few things. So number one, what we always recommend is just utilizing the BBE, or buyback and earn, which is right here. You will automatically be able to trigger that based on your rewards. And depending on the size of your microgrid, depends on the amount of energy you get. So, this particular wallet I'm showing right now is about a 3% or 0.3%, 0.03%, geez, ownership. The $57,000 dollar value is your microgrid value at peg. So again, that was another question. This number will go up as we get closer to peg and as the price of ETH goes up. So that's why this number is usually always increasing. Ultimately, stack points will be valued, based on that. And once there is no more EMP, then stack points are no longer inflationary either. So again, this is just a unit of accounting and represents your ownership within the protocol. So BBE you can do anytime there's rewards accrued. Here again, a couple of days on 100,000 stack points is only about 23 cents, but that APR will go up after we have everything recovered. So right now, all the economic energy from the Treasury is going into peg recovery, and then step 2 is increasing APR when we are at peg and maintaining peg as we go. So that's again the process. Now, if you want to try to uh, actually use the passive income and not build your microgrid, because by doing it by BBE, you actually are able to earn more sacrifice points along the way. But the other options are batteries. So let me go over here. Okay, so you will need to purchase some mENERGY to get started and buy batteries or be able to list on the market. So again, that is the only barrier to entry, but it's like $15 equivalent. So you can use eSHARE or any other asset, BNB, ETH, USDT, and then again, it's only equivalent of $15 in whatever currency you choose. Some of them are less. These batteries are only 10. So if you want to cash out your earnings in BNB or ETH or USDT, you will need to buy the corresponding battery. And if you want to sell your microgrid, you have to buy the split my position battery right here. We also had some questions on the peg profit battery. Right now that is on pause, but eventually we may be able to get that going again. And that would be another way to exit Fusion in a more responsible way. So, but again, if you are looking to sell your microgrid, you will need to split my position battery. And then I don't even have one on here, so I'll buy it just to show. Bear with me. All right, so once you buy that, you go to your dashboard and you come right here to split my position, and then you can choose to sell all or a portion of your microgrid. You pick how many stack points. If you're having problems, get rid of the decimals. make it a round number, and then the price right here in eShare. So again, 0.02 has been about the floor if you're looking to sell it quickly. If not, you can hold to get the real market value. But and then it'll show up right here. And if you are looking to get great deals, you can buy microgrids as well. So if we go back to the marketplace, it's a little hidden, so we're working on making this a little more obvious. But right here, if you go to microgrids, so marketplace and microgrids right here, this button, and boom, here you go. So we have tons of microgrids. Some are great deals. Some people are trying to, cash out higher, and some have just forgotten that they listed their microgrids. But if we go down to the bottom, yeah, you can see here, this last one listed, 8,000 TAC points at about 18 cents. That's a little high. Again, in terms of the floor, this is a really good deal right here. 50,000 TAC points at 0.03, and a total of $1,300 roughly in eShare. So again, that's where eShare gets its volume and utility now, because all buying and selling is settled through eShare when it comes to the marketplace. So, all right, awesome. LA, that was a really high level overview. Again, if they want more specifics, they can look at the playlist. But was there anything I left out that we should clarify?
That was a pretty good overview. I didn't hear you say that you needed to buy a split my position battery, but I'm not sure if you did or not.
Yeah, so we did. We went over that. But just one more time. Again, I always like to go over it twice. If we go back to marketplace, again, if you're brand new to Fusion and you just are here for the airdrop or the partial credit that we gave, and you got TAC points, if you want to exit, you do have to buy the split my position battery. So again, you have to start here and buy mENERGY. mENERGY is called marketplace energy, and that's valued at a 1-to-1 ratio to the dollar. And so again, eShare, BNB, ETH, or USDT. USDT. You type in 1.5 for 15. We'll give you 15 mENERGY. I think, yeah, and this wallet was like 907. So you have to approve and everything else, but it's a $1 value. And then go down, and right here, this purple split my position battery, this 15 mENERGY, you will buy it. I already bought it, so I can't buy it again. And right now, batteries do not expire. So in the future, batteries may expire, but as we continue to roll out Fusion, you're good to go by buying one battery, and then we go to dashboard, and it'll show up right here. If you don't have the split my position, this button will not be here. So split my position, type in all the info again, and two, you can do this as much as you want. Split, a little bit or all of it, but remember, you do need $1 to submit. So you will want a little bit more mENERGY than what you buy the battery with. And if you are going to be here and need a lot more energy, and you're going to be doing a lot of volume, you can buy one of these power packs at the top that are a little bit better. Again, this high voltage, I would be cautious. That's probably a little more energy than you'll ever need. But as we roll out more batteries, you will eventually use that on new batteries. I mean, we're talking about a bond battery. Some of our partners want to have buy pressure on their token, so we have a token to say cash out in a partner token. So there will be many more use cases coming as well. But yeah, all right, so that kind of, did I go over it, LA?
Yes, very
Okay.
well.
Perfect. All right. Let me go back to this and yeah, what's up next on the notes?
Let's see here. Okay, we did how to migrate.
All right. So yeah, I touched on it a little bit. Let me go back. Hang on.
We're kind of bouncing around because after that is what is EMP, and I feel like you just went through Fusion really well, so we don't need to.
Yeah, so we have notes for the day, but yeah, like I said, sometimes I get carried away. So, all right, then we'll just go through it bit by bit. But yeah, if you are eligible for a sacrifice, it will be a box just like this purple box. Only, it will be blue and it will be above it. So if you don't see that, then your wallet was not eligible. Um, and if for whatever reason you feel that there was an issue, you can open a ticket on Discord, but it's not going to be something that we go through wallet by wallet. So you're going to have proof, on your side on with the unchained data. But literally everybody in over 4,000 wallets have been credited. So again, I don't know if all those people will ever come back. That's why you have to click. But it will be open for 60 days. And then after that, it is what it is. So, and I know a lot of people that were in Fusion may have seen a little bit of dilution on their microgrid. So again, if you had 1% ownership, maybe now you only have 0.8 percent ownership. I don't think we've seen more than about 20% dilution. And the bulk of everybody claiming already happened. So, we've said all along that if you want to stay with the consistent ownership, you will have to still buy and burn your own EMP. Because there's still about 15 million, maybe a little bit less than that, 10 million liquid EMP. So no matter what, you're going to get a little bit of dilution. But uh, overall, I think it was something that was more beneficial than not, because now we've made good on our word. We brought a lot of people back in to the ecosystem, and that dilution is not as big a deal, especially when you're able to get microgrids at such cheap prices. So, and one of the major wallets that was sacrificed um, uh, will actually come off the top when we start going. It was one of the Treasury wallets. So that alone should boost everybody's ownership about 10%, probably. So again, it's the dilution is only a big deal at the moment, and even that will get better and better as we move forward with Fusion. And now we can focus on Fusion 100% full time and not have to worry about any of the legacy baggage that we had. So
Yeah, and then
yeah.
I would love for you to go over some of the revenue streams for Fusion, because one thing that I've seen in the chats is people who haven't been around in a while, and then they're saying, oh, well, I have SAC points now, but why am I not earning like thousands of dollars a day? So we've gone over this a lot in recent weeks, but not while a lot of people have come back. So I think it would be good to talk about, the full potential of what's coming.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, I get I gotta have an actual list that we go through, but I can give an overview. So yeah, I mean we have multiple revenue streams that are always gonna be there, and potentially will only get better over time as well. So this is all real yield. When you stake or when you sacrifice into Fusion, you get a share ownership of the protocol, and that gives you exposure to everything that we do in the future. So all the protocols that we launch under the EMP or the DexFi umbrella, a portion of that goes to the GDEX token, and a portion of that goes to EMP Fusion. And so over time, we're getting real yield paying everybody out. Now, right now, the rewards are low because all the revenues go into getting us back to peg and deepening liquidity and treasury recovery after the DeFi hack, and all of the above. So right now, it may not look that attractive, but it's about building your position now because you're getting in a much better spot than everybody else. I mean, LA, what we were having people get their positions in Fusion with like a 7x
Mm-hmm.
multiplier, right?
Yep.
On
Yep.
stack points. Now that is like less than a 2x. So again, it shows that it's about building your position now and not necessarily worrying about APR, and then the APR will come later. And if you're not willing to stick around and find out, then you can sell your microgrid. Again, nobody is locked into anything. So that's again the high level overview of how the revenue works. And then we have real revenue from multiple things. So Fusion itself is a revenue stream. So, like I said, we get marketplace fees, we get marketplace mENERGY purchases. Over the last week, we did about $4,000 in marketplace revenue alone. So, again, as that scales, you can see how Fusion is going to scale with it. Bonds is a big one. We'll go over that in a minute, but as soon as the compensation fund is paid, we split 30% of the bond revenue from the yield. That again will go to GDEX and Fusion. That alone could be literally hundreds of thousands of dollars if the TVL is high enough. And then we have our multi-chain DEX, dexSwap. We get fees from dexSwap. There's all of our other, ancillary things like affiliate commissions and YouTube payments for our channel. And last but not least, our game. So we have a big announcement for Universe Madness later tonight. But we're building a AAA game that will be mainstream, and part of that revenue, EMP gets 10% of ownership in that game, whether it's revenue or if we have an exit, all that will come to Fusion as well. So I'm sure I'm missing a few, but that's the big ones. LA, I don't know if you want to add to that, but
Yeah, and I won't add any additional things but I just want to like re-emphasize two of them. One, HVM, because it has the ability to be huge, and that's a large percentage going to Fusion. So even if you're not excited about the game, keep in mind that we have a lot of support both on the Web 2 and Web 3 side. And the game stands to be really big because it's really a revolutionary concept that isn't seen yet. And then the second one is
totally.
bonds, and we're going to go through bonds next. But I mean, the Treasury is building up a large position that's growing weekly and has the ability to, really be quite a strong revenue stream for Fusion. So don't sleep on bonds when it comes to helping to build, both your bond and Fusion positions.
Yeah, absolutely, LA, 100%. So, all right, awesome. Then, yeah, do you want to get into bonds now, or what's up next?
Sure. Yeah, because we've already really gone over what Fusion is. So
Yeah, and happy to answer questions at the end here. If somebody needs more clarification, just let us know. So
nice. Okay, awesome. So one exciting thing, and this is since this morning, so maybe it's even higher now, but we have officially hit over 2.5 million now minted in bonds between our main bond fund and some of our additional ones that have launched, which is really exciting. We've already paid out over 175,000 in bonds between all three of the ones that I was looking at. So Elephant, Bernard bonds, and the main Treasury bond site. And then just a reminder that a great way to build both bond positions and Fusion positions and help us in this historic rise to peg is to stack up bonds and then use a portion of the rewards every month to buy EMP and stack into Fusion. Use a portion every month to buy more bonds, and use a portion for whether it be your savings or spending money. And that way you're building up short, medium, and long-term yield for yourself. And I know AJ usually likes to go over it, but the great thing about bonds is that as ETH rises, so do the value of bonds, which is incredible because you get that appreciation, but you also earn daily yield.
I love it. I'll let you explain it better than I do now. So yeah. So all right, let me show this graphic first, and then we'll go back over to bonds. But this is again, you know how we love our infographics. Um, the infinite passive money loop and all the amazing legacy good stuff that we've had. But anyway, this is how we again are not financial advice, but we're recommending that this is a great allocation into bonds. So bonds are kind of the new backbone of the ecosystem, and they fuel this flywheel. So again, we keep talking about the EMP flywheel. Imagine bonds, being the air that turns the flywheel, or gas that turns it. So if you're just brand new to EMP, I would highly recommend to start in bonds, and that will fuel your journey here with us in a very minimal risk type of way. So buying a bond, using 40% of that bond to buy more bonds, using 25% of your earnings to buy and sacrifice EMP, use the other 25% to buy cheap microgrids off the marketplace like I just showed, and then you get 10% to take as profit and do whatever you want with, by Doge or your favorite meme, and go from there. So and knowing that this is the allocation, let's jump back over to bonds and show how powerful this has been. Again, pretty amazing. All right, so this is our treasury bonds. Again, not only do we have our own treasury bonds, but we also have some white label services for other protocols that utilize this real yield to then fuel their ecosystems as well. And all the while, it's more TVL in the vaults, which again, we get fees from, and it's a 70-30 split on all bonds, whether it's ours or white label, 70 to bondholders and 30 to the team or the recovery fund or the other white label services, of which we get 10 of that 30. So again, it's a real business making incredible APR and really outperforming anything right now. And a lot of you may have noticed APR is back at 93%. So we did a big injection yesterday. Every Wednesday or Thursday, we have an epoch where we use the rewards we earned in the week to refill the drip contract. And, that's why I've said all along, even when people start seeing the APR go down, remember it's an average over the entire year. So it's really difficult to make decisions based on 1 week, whether the APR is up or down by 20 points. But the goal is that we consistently are around 100 to, say 80 to 110 APR over the year. And why this is so cool is you're earning USDC every minute of every day, or every block if you have enough USD, or if you have enough bonds. And you get price exposure to the underlying assets. So right now, again, it just went up. Bonds are now 0.07 ETH. That's the highest they've been in ETH value in at least 3 weeks, probably. When we first launched, they were 0.1 ETH, but that only lasted for about 24 hours. The average price is more around 0.075 ETH, maybe a little higher, but the point is you get exposure to ETH, and because of that, dollar value is up. The mint price of bonds was $250. So now if you mint it on day one, you're up in principal and you're up in yield. So it's pretty incredible. And this is all concentrated liquidity yield farming through our bonds. And if you click right here, oh, hang on. Man, my computer is being slow today. All right, we got it. So this is we're the only concentrated liquidity protocol that actually shows the transparent data. And if you go here and scroll down, you can see the actual positions that we're in. So again, we're in about 30 or 40 different vaults, and that means, you know, that even if one of these goes to zero, the fund is not at risk. So we're well diversified. We show everything transparently, and because they're private vaults through our ecosystem, you can't copy the secret sauce as well. And I want to highlight this Banker ETH. This is one we've been in for since the fund opened. And if you go to Banker and look at it on a chart, I think Banker is up like 200% since the fund opened. So Banker has been an amazing performer, and they just got listed on Coinbase. So that has been great. It's up another 30% today, and that's one of our biggest holdings in the vault. So that alone has been up in value and in volume. And we did a record number today on revenue. We did about $18,000 in fees over the last 24 hours. So
Incredible.
it's not incredible, LA. So that shows the power of the vaults. And you know, obviously that's all variable. But if that continues, then APR will be, you know, 120, 150 as we go into the bull run. So really, really powerful stuff. Cool. All right, and then yeah, overall, like the other said, about 2.5 million. Bernard Bonds is another one. Again, same infrastructure, same everything, just a new, you know, branding and community that we target. That APR, they just got a bunch of new deposits, so the APR is a little bit lower. Remember too, if there's more money coming in on new fresh deposits, that will artificially lower the APR. But this was 93, just the same as we were earlier today. And last but not least, Elephant. So love it or hate it, they are now utilizing our ecosystem to generate real yield for the Elephant token, which in my opinion was one of the big things that was missing from that ecosystem. And I'm really excited for this because it will be a perfect case study on how bonds can really help a token. And so about 100 grand in there. The APR on this is a little bit lower, but you have a lot more blue chip exposure. So and Elephant as well. So again, we're doing it. It's working, and we have 2 more white labels in the works as well, and a third that is already launched, but unfortunately it's still private, so I can't disclose. The numbers aren't that high on that one, but still every dollar helps. So yeah, we're doing it. And remember, why this is important is not only can it fuel your own investment into Fusion, but you know we get a portion of the yield to fuel Fusion. So again, you know, after recovery fund is paid, which shouldn't be, you know, that long. We're here for the long run. We're getting all of our cut of the fees. It could, you know, you could see the APR in Fusion be, you know, a precursor, or the APR in bonds a precursor to APR in Fusion. Now remember, you know, dollar for dollar, the APR we would never be able to do, you know, 90% APR because it would be, you know, $10 million a day. But if you factor in what you actually contributed to Fusion, the APR is very, very competitive. So awesome. All right. All right. What else, LA?
I think we're good to move on to questions.
Amazing. I feel like we went through that really quickly. So,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah. Then
I've
let
got
me.
the first one here on YouTube queued up. And you did go over the peg bot already, but the way the question is asked, I feel like you need to clarify a little bit. So,
Okay.
is there a peg bot that will keep Microgrid set a respectable price? Or are we just going to see Jeep prices like at the moment? So if you could just explain that, the peg bot and the, I'm assuming he's talking about in the marketplace, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, so again, I think people have a misunderstanding of the peg bot a little bit. So, and again, this is something that we will still have to experiment with. But the idea is that we set up an arbitrage bot, which we've done, 100 times over, with Spark and other dexes that we've used under our umbrella. And so we've had a lot of success with arbitrage bots, or also referred to as market makers. And so what happens is we set a range where, the price cannot go, say, 10% above peg or 10% below peg. And whenever the price does go above peg, we sell a little bit. And then when it goes below peg, we buy a little bit. And so the idea is that keeping this range, we can have a lot lower liquidity overall. But if people want to sell, they can do it responsibly. And so, obviously, if somebody sells, 10 grand in one clip, they're still getting hit with price impact. It will have the chart go down. I mean, there's nothing we can do to prevent that. But the whole idea is that it punishes people that want to nuke the chart, and those that want to enter and exit gracefully now have a way to do that, while we maintain peg and allow an opportunity for new people to get in at a price that is fair market value. So again, it goes both ways. If people sell, then there's usually buyers, and because of the way the peg bonus works, when there isn't more peg bonus, whenever we do see a little bit of dip in the chart, that's when you should be buying EMP, because that is the only bonus that you're gonna get anymore. So it's all relative, and I hope that helps the concept behind the peg bot. So is that
Yeah.
LA? I don't know if you want to add, but yeah.
Yeah, that helps. Yep.
Okay.
And then there's another comment from Skippy that says top 30 holders could wreck the chart. Example, a top 30 holder selling daily. It's a bit of a worry when we're so close to peg. I actually was commenting the opposite to AJ yesterday. I said, how great is it that the paper hands are selling on our way up? So there's not
Totally.
as much left once we get there. That's what we want to see. We want to actually see the people who intend to sell on the way up, not once we're there. Because one, they're not winning as much, but two, as long as we're continuing to head in the right direction, we're getting rid of them along the way. That's what we like to see.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, again, it's all relative. Like, there's nothing that we can do in our power to limit sellers. If people are going to sell, they're going to sell. So they either sell now or they sell at peg, but they're selling either way. And for what I mentioned earlier about the inevitability just based on the math, every single day, the Treasury and other users are buying and sacrificing. And so over time, again, this isn't something that happens overnight, but over an extended period of time, that is less and less of a problem because people don't have the EMP to sell. And again, I mean, this is just current market. I mean, when we see the real bull run, the whole idea is that we have way more people that want to enter a trusted protocol, the only protocol that has even come close to recovering peg as an algorithmic coin with exposure to ETH. I mean, LA, as we've said all along, restart the AMA trains up again. And so, with $100,000 of new buying pressure, that means we can handle $100,000 of selling pressure and still have peg. So again, it's all relative for sure.
Love that. Shout out to My Journey. He says, I'm super grateful for the migration. Thank you guys. Huge supporter always. So shout out to you.
Yes, thank you, Journey. Appreciate that.
Gravy asks, will Ceto and Spark folks be moving into Fusion next?
Yeah, Gravy, great question. So the plan right now is that you will be credited in our new dexSwap token. So we haven't done the full tokenomics and breakdown of that, but again, dexSwap being a multi-chain dex will eventually have its own token. We'll probably do more of a V33 model. So it's cap supply used for incentives and voting on emissions. But the short answer is all that will be absorbed in dexSwap, and we don't really have a time frame on that, unfortunately. Spark has, with Pulse heating up now, we may accelerate that time frame, but Ceto is essentially dead, so you will still get credit, but we will not support Manta network because the chain itself is just done. So, but yeah, Spark, and then ultimately, where we are too, Base, Arbitrum, Avalanche, Sonic. The whole idea with DexSwap is that it's a multi-chain DEX. So all that will be figured out. So again, right now we're focused on bonds because we're making the most money with that. But later in the year, we'll focus the attention to the DEX and what that migration looks like. But it will most likely will have nothing to do with Fusion. So in terms of migration.
Another one from Gravy. Once the PEG stabilization bot starts after PEG, will the APR in Fusion be based on microgrid value?
Yeah, so that's what I was saying a little bit earlier. Obviously, microgrid value is a way to determine a fair market value at PEG, but the APR is a little misleading because, even at a 5% APR on, 100, whatever the total liability is, like 300 million, I think, if you looked at all the stack points, that's not realistic. So the better way to look at it is what you contributed to Fusion in dollar value, and then calculate the APR from that. And that's what I said, that is going to be competitive, and bonds are a great baseline to prove that. So yeah, but don't again, we got to be realistic. Don't expect 100% APR on a microgrid value of 300 grand. We'd have to be paying out millions and millions a day, which maybe, hey, who knows? That might be a thing. So never say never, but let's
But
just
that
be
being
realistic.
said,
Yeah.
where microgrid value comes into play is that as we get past PEG and we've proven we can maintain PEG, and once all the EMP is held within Fusion and we're able to work on improving the APRs within Fusion, that's when people start being willing to pay close to what a microgrid value displayed is worth, or even one day potentially more than the marked value. And even if you were able to get 50% of the value, it would be an incredible amount more than what you actually contributed. So that's where that comes into play. And that's why it's so important for us to continue to work together to stabilize the ecosystem and continue to build so that we can increase the APRs, the revenue streams, and maintain that PEG, because the more that we can spread that message, that positive news, the more new people will have their eyes on EMP. And if there's no more EMP on the market, that means they have to buy a microgrid to get in.
Yeah, great points. Thank you for reminding me. I want to go over a lot of that right now. So, number one, yes, at the current moment below PEG and before we really are firing on all cylinders in terms of revenue, it is a bit of dashboard money. Like, we've been super transparent about that. But to Ella's point, that is fair market value at peg. So you will start getting closer and closer to your microgrid value as the real value. Obviously, if you need to sell it quickly, you may have to discount it, but that's what a free market is. And once there is no more EMP, like Ella said, you have to buy a microgrid if you want to get involved, and that's from other users. That's not from us as a team, and that will again continue to go up and maybe even be over market value, because if people are happy inside of Fusion and don't want to sell, at least for a minimal gain, then that's when the floor price goes crazy. So then you're looking at supply and demand, and if the supply is low and the demand is high, then it gets really nuts in terms of value. So again, and then one more point I want to make is, we are also buying and burning microgrids as a protocol, very similar to a stock buyback, where no matter what, as long as the Treasury continues to buy and burn microgrids, that will automatically push the APR up for everybody else that's in the protocol. So there's a lot of different metrics at play that really will get the rewards high enough that people, are excited about it for sure.
AJ is so excited you're making him cry.
I know, my red eye. I'm crying here. So yeah, it's all good. So all right. What's up next? What's the
Next
next
one.
one?
How far along are we with compensation returning to the community? Any percentage you have there?
I don't have that percentage off the top of my head. But as I've said many times, that the goal that we're looking at is 10 million. So if we can get to $10 million in TVL, we have the entire debt paid off within a month or two. So again, I can get a number for you. We're doing distributions in another few days or week, 2 weeks. So on the next distribution, I'll get an update. But TVL growing means that we're paying people back faster. So
Yeah, and I've noticed, at least with my own, that even though we started every week on the Friday, they've been earlier the last 2 or 3 weeks. They've been coming through on the Wednesday or Thursday. So that's kind of cool.
yeah, no doubt. So again, if we have a lot built up, we'll do our best to distribute quicker. And the whole goal is every distribution of bonds that you get should be a little bit more than you did before, because that snowball effect is happening. So yeah, we're well on our way, and it shouldn't be much longer. Especially if we see ETH and the other assets we're in, even just from price appreciation alone, we're at 5 million bucks already with no new deposits. So it can scale really quickly.
Yes. Okay, I already answered this question from Lion King in the chat, but I just want to kind of explain it just anyways. So the question was like, he deactivated his USDT battery, but he hasn't noticed BBE activating. So the thing is that BBE is not automatic, but it is automatically accumulating rewards if your other batteries are deactivated. And so basically the way that it works is once you deactivate your other cash out batteries, your BBE will start accumulating rewards. And then anytime you hit the activate button, you are compounding those rewards, and you will get a peg bonus on those rewards when you do it. So you see on the screen right now how that activate button is lit up. He can press that, but he would only be compounding 23 cents. So it's up to you how often you press it. But anytime you have rewards, it will light up, and then you can compound them. But it's just up to you how often you do it based on how many rewards you've accumulated up until that point.
Yeah, perfect, Ellie. Because this is something I was getting a lot of questions on. And again, I mean, it's a smart contract. So if it's an individual error, it's usually, not a protocol issue. I don't say that to be a jerk. I just say that everything is working as intended. So as you see, I just activated it. my BNB is active right now, but I can't press the button because I don't have enough reward. So again, if you have a 1% ownership of Fusion, you may be able to activate the BBE within a few minutes. But if not, you have to wait at least maybe a day for the rewards to accumulate. So
Yeah.
just what you really want to check is dashboard and battery, and as long as no batteries are active, you are good to go. So
Yeah. And then there was one more thing I was going to say on that.
yeah, see, look, there you go. Even with a 0.3%, it activated. So again, you just have to wait for it, and you get less than. But right now, if I did this, it would cost more in gas than what I'm getting. So just be aware of all that. So
And if you guys want a little reminder on how each particular part of the protocol works, that sort of thing is definitely found in those tutorial videos on the Fusion education playlist. So don't be afraid to go back and remind yourself how some of those things work.
perfect.
All right, last YouTube question, then we'll move on to Discord. When EMP is gone, when all the EMP is gone, will I still be able to compound my earnings into Fusion?
Yeah, so it's a little tricky. So yeah, the short answer is no. I mean, when there is no more EMP on the market, then you will not be able to use the BBE. The BBE goes away, and the cash out batteries, you still get the cash. So again, ETH, BNB or USDT, but you wouldn't be able to then go buy EMP. You'd have to go buy a microgrid. So yeah, hopefully that answered that. But you still, I guess technically you can still compound, but it will be an extra step because you have to buy microgrids instead of buying EMP.
Yeah, and if your BBE is locked, then you have a cash out battery activated, because if all of your cash out batteries are deactivated, then BBE is automatically unlocked.
Yep, exactly. And if it's still an issue, you can always open a ticket in Discord, but it wouldn't work for some other people and not for you. So usually the issue is one of your batteries is activated, or you just have too tiny of a microgrid to see rewards for a day or two. So
All right,
all right.
let's rapid fire through some more of these because there's a lot of questions on Discord.
Oh man. All right, cool. Here we go.
Okay, let's see here. And did you guys go through any of these last week or no?
We did maybe a few. I know Grover went over a few, but yeah, I don't, maybe like two. So yeah, if there's a lot, they're all new probably.
Okay, so one of them says, "Hi guys, first time using this forum. Is the EMP Fusion dashboard not working or discontinued?"
Assuming they mean the EMP Fusion dashboard.
It says
Yeah, no,
EMP Fusion. That one
yeah.
is
So
very active and very working.
yeah,
But
we just showed all that. But yeah, if they mean the old EMP site, it's still up just so people can withdraw. But it will be going away forever. So if you, there's no reason you would be on the original EMP site, unless again you had LP. But if you don't get that out of there, you have to interact with the contracts directly, because we will be removing that website at some point. So yeah.
yeah, so the original EMP site is now discontinued. The only reason we still have it up is that some people still haven't taken their money out of the farms. But
Yep,
yeah.
perfect. And again, when I say get rid of it, that EMP site will still forward to Fusion. So if anybody, wants to know what's going on, we're not going to disappear, but there's no need for that site anymore.
Yes. I've had a few people ask me this in the last few days, if we can get an update on the OlEMPics next.
Yeah, that's all you, LA. Oh,
Yes.
give us the goods. Yeah, go ahead.
So I'll be 100% honest. It's not going to happen in the next week because I am about to go through a major move. But after that, we can definitely chat about kicking it off if we continue to hit our goals every week and we get closer to reaching peg. Because the key with the OlEMPics is it's supposed to take us that last leg to peg to really like skyrocket us over that hill. And so we can 100% chat about it after the craziness of my move this week / next week.
Perfect.
All right, next one. Is there any way my SAC points for Reactor, which I haven't claimed yet, can be transferred to my other wallet for Fusion, as my original wallet was hacked over a year ago?
Yeah, so the only solution right now is to sell your microgrid to yourself. So again, I know it's a little bit of a weird situation, but you know, you'd have to have eShare and then place your microgrid for sale. Again, hopefully you can do it quickly before the scammer realizes if it is a hacked wallet. If you don't have a hacked wallet but want to move your microgrid, you have to buy it from yourself on the marketplace. So I would say just list it. I know people get worried, but if you do it quickly and you list it maybe a little bit above the floor price and do it in chunks, because remember, even if you have $1 million microgrid, you can do it, you know, a little bit at a time, one sacrifice point at a time, and you get the eShare. You send it back to the other wallet and you do it again. So yeah, I can do a tutorial on that if we need to, but it's pretty easy.
Okay, awesome. Next one. Currently, the only way to buy a microgrid from the marketplace is to buy some EMP to create a microgrid. When all EMP is gone, how will new participants buy a microgrid? So that's the first part. So let's explain that first.
Yeah, so microgrids are not bought and sold in EMP. They represent the EMP that's sacrificed, but you use eShare to settle buying and selling of you know of microgrids. And yeah, like we were saying earlier, you know, even if there isn't any more EMP, then you have to buy a microgrid and hope somebody is willing to sell you theirs. So
Yeah, so there's two ways to get into Fusion. The first way is to buy some EMP and then sacrifice it into Fusion, which will get you a small peg bonus. And that is when your initial microgrid will be created. The second way to get a microgrid is to use eShare and purchase. First, you would have to purchase mENERGY to buy a. Actually, no, you only need the split position battery for selling, right? Not buying.
yeah, so you
So,
don't even have to go
yeah,
through
so you don't even have to do
mENERGY,
that.
just eShare.
So
Yeah.
you would just need eShare to buy one of the microgrids off the market. And so once all of the EMP is gone, then new participants can only buy microgrids off the market with eShare. And then there's
Yep.
a second part of the question. Is all the thousands and thousands of dollar money gone Fusion dead? Like it's not making anything anywhere? It could have gone into the vaults. I don't really get that question. But
Yeah, I don't understand that question. I mean, again, I think it's more of a misunderstanding of LP, especially with detonator and those like people think that that LP was somehow ours. You know, but the answer is that you know it was a player versus player, and people, other users were the ones extracting the LP. So we a big chunk of our treasury was in the vaults already. And unfortunately, again, with the exploit a few months ago, we were affected by that. But we still have funds on the side that are earning, and we are like the number one or two wallet in the compensation fund. So all that we get from that is building the treasury back as well. So yeah, I mean, again, there there wasn't just some money sitting somewhere that we could deploy, that we didn't, but we do use bonds and the vaults to generate yield, and we have since the beginning. So, like beginning of EMP, like the last 3.5 years.
Yeah, I would invite you, Swiss, to just refamiliarize yourself with how Fusion works, and I think that it'll become a little bit clearer for you. There's one more question from this user. With PEG in sight, should everyone's expectations of yield be managed? From my calculations, for me to receive 5% of microgrid at current ETH levels, it would require a daily income of $40,000.
Yeah, no doubt. So I think 40,000 is very doable. I mean, obviously not at the moment, but with the success of dexSwap and bonds and Universe Madness, I mean, just to put that in perspective, we could be doing hundreds of thousands, if not millions a day. I mean, again, if dexSwap takes off as an exchange, those do literally millions a day. Now, yes, I'm all about managing expectations. And if you're expecting 5% APR in the short term, that could be difficult for us. So I'm not saying that it can't happen, and we're doing everything we can to make that happen. But the best way to calculate rewards is based on what you actually your cost basis to get into Fusion, and then calculating APR based on that dollar value until the market value is more aligned with the actual peg value that you see in your dashboard. So yeah, I mean obviously, and again, I said it earlier today. Right now we're in build mode, so I would be much less focused on APR, and I would be much more focused on building your ownership within Fusion because you're getting the best possible entry now that over time will only get better and therefore give you a higher APR in the long run. So again, none of that's financial advice, but that's how Fusion is built.
Yeah, and all the remaining questions are all about asking us to verify calculations to predict future APR. So
Yeah,
just
yeah,
gonna
that's
preface
just
that with like we're not gonna do that.
for sure.
So I'm gonna skip past the first question because that's what that is. You just mentioned that APR for early holders is competitive, but it won't be for anyone buying in at the current level or higher. Guess
No,
all,
oh, yeah.
all comes down to get that daily revenue to over 100K to give 10%. Do you think 10% APR is enough for someone to enter into Fusion?
Yeah, so I mean, again, it's relative. So I don't again don't take anything out of context. Users that were buying 0.15 cent EMP, obviously they're gonna get a better outcome, and that's just the way it is. I mean, again, it's not something that we can control, and that's why we're all here in crypto. Now, that being said, the way that Fusion is designed is to scale as we scale. And so, you know, that person, again, hypothetically speaking, that person is willing to sell their microgrid at a lot lower of a price eventually because they are up more than others. However, over time, again, that's why we keep saying that the dashboard shows the fair market value of EMP at PEG because over time that number is the fair market value. As ETH goes up, as EMP is maintaining peg, that is the baseline to get in. And so the whole idea is when the marketplace value and real market value of stack points is what it shows, that is when we scale enough that the APR will still be attractive. So the short answer is, even if we're doing $10,000 a day in APR, those that got in early, it's attractive for them. Down the road, we're doing $100,000 a day. Anybody new getting in, it's attractive for them. So we scale as it goes. And even if we're not able to scale revenue, to millions of dollars a day, like I said, we're always buying and burning microgrids. And so even if the rewards stay the same, that is mathematically guaranteeing that APR goes up because we're giving rewards over less people. So yeah, the short answer, again, I know I keep saying that, but APR will be competitive whether you get in now or later, and that is just the way Fusion is designed. And if it isn't competitive, then nobody has to stay. I mean, again, this is something that you have to worry about going to zero overnight. It's a hedge against more risky crypto assets, and bonds are a great example. I mean, if we can prove the revenue through bonds, then as the treasury grows, that's like a giant whale in bonds that's paying all the yield to Fusion instead of their own wallet. So keep that in mind as well.
Love it. Okay, a couple more questions from this user. What is the plan for mENERGY? Isn't it better to remove the bonus and tie to buying microgrids? Is there anything else that is substantial that can be bought on the marketplace anytime soon, as people bought the largest pack and have a lot of mENERGY sitting there?
Yeah, so mENERGY is just, again, a marketplace token. So yeah, I mean, there's no advantage or disadvantage of having mENERGY or not in the ecosystem. It's just the way that we have a accounting of, what to buy batteries. So yeah, if you have more mENERGY than you need at the moment, then hopefully, there's more, like I said, a bond battery, other batteries. Remember too, the ultimate goal is batteries become um, expendable, meaning they have a lifespan. So if you want to continue to earn from Fusion, then you have to buy another battery. Again, say a battery only lasts a month. That's also part of the long-term plan. We're not doing that right now because we're still in growth phase. But if people are earning 100% APR or whatever it ends up being, um, it's a cost of doing business to continue to cash out, and that the revenue we get from that goes right back to the APR. So it doesn't go to us. So again, we have other things that we can do to incentivize mENERGY, and those that did go heavy in mENERGY can use it. And yeah, we don't plan on getting rid of it because that's what everything is priced in the market, in the batteries. Again, the marketplace, and again, it's a little confusion. So make sure that you look through the documents, but don't. mENERGY has nothing to do with microgrid payouts or buying on the marketplace.
All right, final one. Let's see here. Of the 18,000 in fees from dexSwap yesterday, how much goes to Fusion payout?
Yeah, so there wasn't $18,000 in fees. That was the overall volume. Again, I'm assuming that's what you're looking at on dexSwap. So the answer is
I think he's referring to what you said like earlier. You were saying that there was like a monstrous day yesterday and we earned
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I apologize. So yeah, all that's in the docs. It's a 70-30 split. So 70% of the APR or the yield goes to bondholders. That's what that 90% APR is, and the other 30% goes to us. But right now we don't see any of that because it goes all 30% goes to the recovery bonds. So once that's paid, though, then again we get it, we get that. So development costs come off the top, and then GDEX and Fusion split the rest. So, and again, GDEX is the DexFi equivalent of Fusion. It's just, again, they do it through a token rather than a system. So yeah, hopefully that answers. Again, you can do the math. I don't know what 30% of thousand is off the top of my head.
And that's what that's what we're talking about for the future, and that Fusion is a long-term game. Like, there are some extremely powerful revenue streams that will fuel Fusion massively, but not all of them are 100% kicked off yet. And this is just a
Totally.
perfect example of it. I mean, look at that. Like, we're just getting started. The TVL in bonds is growing constantly, and there's already days, just single days, with 18,000 in fees. Well, what happens when that compensation fund is paid back? That's why it's so important that the community do that, like what AJ had that diagram up: stack bonds, use part of it to buy more bonds, part of it to build your Fusion position, part of it as profit, part of it for microgrids. That way you are literally covering all of your bases, and you're helping us quicker to get to that position where we do have the compensation fund totally paid off, and a lot of those rewards are going into Fusion.
Yeah, 100%, LA. I mean, this image right here, this breakdown is the golden ticket. I mean, we were doing things a little tongue in cheek, with the infinite passive money loop, with the original version of EMP. It did help fuel the ecosystem and make it sustainable. But unfortunately, old EMP was built on inflation, and so learning what we learned from that, this is the secret sauce right here. So bonds are non-inflationary, they're real yield, they are sustainable, they're everything that you would want to see in a protocol. And so by starting with bonds and utilizing this breakdown that's on the screen right now, you can find this in our socials, Telegram and Discord too. But this is a way to, again, make the flywheel go insane, because you're earning money to do whatever you want to, pay bills, speculate, whatever else, and you're building your microgrid position on autopilot. So if everybody did this, like, we would be, it would just be insane. So yeah, again, I'm trying not to get too excited, but yeah. All right,
Love it.
awesome. Yeah, any
And
other, yeah.
the only other question we had kind of already talked about, which was the topic of dilution after the legacy contracts.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, no, absolutely. So we touched on this a little bit if you wanna go back a little earlier, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. There was no way that we could not do the credit without some sort of dilution. So I know it's a bit of a short-term bummer, but we have said all along, and even on Fusion Watch, if you connect your wallet, there is under your dashboard, there is a number that will tell you to keep up with dilution. You have to buy and sacrifice at least 10 EMP a day, or 100 EMP a day, or whatever it is for your particular microgrid. And it is what it is, because there is still EMP in existence. Then no matter what, SAC points are inflationary short term. Now there is a cap supply of EMP, therefore there is eventually a cap supply of SAC points. And now that we're through the bulk of it, I mean, the vast majority of people that were getting credit have already claimed. So from here on out, you should not be diluted hardly at all moving forward. If anything, you're going to get more credit as we start burning our own microgrids. So yeah, I would say we're through the woods with that, and it was just a necessary evil to get everybody into Fusion, and now we can move forward with Fusion 100%, because Fusion is the future. That is the title today. So Fusion will be the 100% focus moving forward for sure. Cool.
Awesome. Just
You
a
there?
shout out to Between the Sandwiches. He says, cheers to the team and those in the community who have trusted in them We will soon see the fruits of all the blood, sweat, tears, FUD, and obstacles along the way. It has begun. Cheers to you, sandwiches.
Yes, thank you. That really means a lot. And thank you all. I mean, again, there's a lot of greedy people that are mad about their credit or they're entitled or whatever it might be, but the vast majority of you have been extremely grateful. You've sent me DMs of how nobody in crypto does what we do. The fact that we've never given up. I had an OG message me today that was super involved in the beginning. Left and never looked back. And now, with the migration and being, people of our word, they're back in and very happy and not selling their microgrid. They're keeping it
Love
because they
that.
know, that we're doing it, LA. So yeah, I mean, again, that was the whole point of the legacy migration, to get people like that, where now we've proven to them through our actions, not our words, that we do things for the right reasons, and now they're gung ho about getting involved and staying involved for the future of fusion. So cool. All right, amazing. Yeah, Neil. See, that's the mindset we love. So
Love
yeah,
it.
take a negative and do make it a motivator. I love it. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, that kind of wraps things up. We do have our next AMA coming up in 8 minutes. But just want to say happy to be back this week. I missed you guys last week, and really looking forward to continuing this momentum we're building.
Yeah, no doubt, LA. Always a pleasure. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the hard work you're doing as well, Grover, John, the entire dev team.
And big shout out as well to Stinky Beans. Could not do this
Yes.
without that wonderful man.
No doubt. Again, I'm so bad. I know there's always somebody I forget, but yeah, Stinky, me and him have been tag teaming the Discord tickets all week. So yeah, Stinky, we could not do without you, brother. So
And shout out to
yeah.
Darusik also, who has been doing the timestamps for quite a long time, and huge help with all of that.
Yeah, all of you. Again, if I forget your name, it's not because I don't care or anything like that. I mean, it takes a village, and we have some of the we literally have the best people in all of crypto. So thank you everybody for putting in your brick to make this successful. So
Oh, and
yeah.
I forgot to mention this earlier, but someone in the chats said that you should name the peg bot Peggy. That was A Tracy. So that's a
All
recommendation.
right, I love it. Yeah, we may actually be able to do that on chain. Put a name to the smart contract that manages it. That'd be hilarious. Yeah, all right, I love it. Again, we love the feedback and the involvement. So, oh, that's funny.
Love
So,
it.
yeah, awesome. All right, well, I'm gonna be late because we got a lot to go over on the next AMA. So if you are gonna join us over there, give me a few minutes to get set up. We have a major announcement on HVM tonight, with some unbelievable footage. So make sure that you join us over there. Again, you should care because it's directly benefiting your fusion bags as well. So if you are not involved in Universe Madness, please get involved in Universe Madness. So all right, and yeah, LA, we'll be back next week. We come to you every Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe as we head out, and spread the good word about Fusion and everything that we're doing to recover and ultimately be a success story in the next bull run, which we're in the middle of. So the next 3 to 6 months are going to be pretty spectacular. So all right, much love. Good night. Good day. We will see you on next Thursday.